I'm going to tell the features of our Mongo Handguard mount. It comes with everything that you would need, and the reason for this is it makes it to where it takes some of the stress off of the handlebar when you're running bark busters. How it actually works is you have your blade of your handguard system, and normally your blade attaches to the handlebar. Well, in the event of a crash, it tends to put a lot of stress on your handlebar. The Mongo helps alleviate the stress on the handlebar. It also helps, handlebars are more designed now to flex, and it allows the handlebar to flex. And how it attaches, it is as simple as the Mongo attaches. It goes on the end of your handlebar, and it mounts here to your triple clamp. We're going to install the Mongo Handguard mount, and the advantages of it is in a normal competition handguard system where it mounts to the handlebar, the Mongo will take some of the stress off of the handlebar in case of you crash hard. The other thing that it does, bars without crossbars are meant to flex. The Mongo allows the handlebars to flex to take a little bit of the rigidity away. So the first thing we want to do, we want to remove the clamp right here. The next thing we need to do now, we need to remove the triple clamp bolts, and the reason for that is the Mongo comes with bolts because they're needed longer. One of the first things we need to do when we go to install the Mongo, it's very adjustable. Seeing how these handlebars that we're working on today are 32 inches, they've never been cut down. Handlebars vary from 32 to 29 inches, so a lot of adjustability is needed to install handguards and anything that evolves around a handguard. The Mongo is designed that by the offset that it can be put in the inward position like this, or reverse to the other side. It can then be in the outward position, and all of this gives width or takes width away. The next function is the holes are offset here, which give it adjustability inward or outward. It has 3 positions also that are slotted that you can adjust it inward and outward, and all of this gives us the adjustability that we're going to need. The first thing that we will do, we have our blade on so we kind of know where everything's going to bolt up. You'll take the Mongo, we're going to do it in the outwardmost place. We just want to get everything started to go together. The first thing we're doing, everything is trial fit. We do not know exactly for sure where anything is going to be or how anything is going to fit. Now we're just going to start to draw things up just a little bit, get the bolt started in a few spots, just see kind of what we need. I need to be a little looser on this end so I have a little flexibility with everything. We don't want anything to be tight at this point. Whenever doing this, you just start bringing the bolts together a little bit at a time so that everything can get started and we can see where we're at. The first time installing this, you'll not know whether you need to be narrow or wide, so just kind of take into account how wide your bars are And if they're 32 inches, from 31 to 32, you're going to need more of the outward positions. And if they're narrower than that, you'll start maybe needing to turn things around and getting it narrower. Now that I have this, I'm wanting to see how I'm all fixed. I'm just starting to get things in position. Nothing needs to be tight yet at this point. We still always want to have our blade somewhat parallel with the ground. Now once we start to find out where we need to be, whether things are bound, not bound, whether or not we need to move, lengthen, shorten things, we need to at that point in time get the location we are, because at that point we will take the blade off, and this bolt that holds the two pieces together, we will use a blue Loctite. We will put that on there. We will tighten the bolt down in its position, and that way we don't have to worry about anything coming loose. After we get everything tight, because these two pieces need to be tight upon themselves. This is not meant to pivot. It's meant to get into position and then tighten down. So after we get everything Loctited the way we need to, into position, we'll start to tighten everything down. Now when we're tightening these bolts here, we need to go with the manufacturer's torque settings for your triple clamps. You do not want to over tighten these. These should be followed the OEM manufacturer's torque settings. Alright, and once we get them to the proper torque, then we can start tightening the other bolts down. We need to tighten our ends. There is a nylon lock nut then that goes onto the inside of this bolt, and all that's to safeguard that nothing comes loose. And with a lock nut, the nylon part goes to the outside. We will turn that on. Now we need to tighten this 13mm nut up, and this is just to safeguard that nothing comes loose while you're riding. And with any time we're working around the throttle, we want to make sure that we've done nothing that obstructs the throttle, that it snaps back on its own. And there you have it, the Mongo Handguard mount.